I remember coming in the first day, and I remember kind of being worried about what the atmosphere was going to be like, and thinking it was going to be really dreary and depressing, and thinking how hard it was going to be. And then I remember coming in and thinking how much energy the place had, and seeing everyone sitting around the dining room table and eating and laughing and having a great time, and it really surprised me.
All of the patients here, we all are just like a family. It's just like a family. It's really nice here. The staff and everything. We're really close. Makes you feel at home.
Maitri seems to attract a group of compassionate and nurturing people. Why that happens, I don't know. But we've been very lucky that way. It's really a team effort here. And we want it to be some place where they can relax and feel safe and be well taken care of.
In 1987, Isan Dorsey, a Zen priest and founder of the Hartford Street Zen Center, opened his door to accept a homeless student dying of AIDS. Thus, Maitri was founded for the purpose of providing residential care for low-income people with AIDS.
My sense of compassion is more knowing that the space that between us does not separate us, but in fact connects us. And so if I cut my finger, I put a bandage on it. And if you fall down, I help pick you up.
I think Isan Dorsey had a sense of compassion that removed divisions and borders between peoples. You know, Maitri has the name Compassionate Friendship. And really, when you're here, you see that coming out. It's marvelous to see. It really is.
Maitri is also referred to as the way that a mother loves a child, or the way that a mother nurtures a baby. And Maitri is a word that was chosen to represent the type of care that we wanted to provide here.
The type of care we provide really is far more than just nursing care or medical care, but really we take a look at the whole person. So we'll look at a resident's psychological needs, spiritual needs, medical needs, and any support they may need. So it really is a multifaceted program and individual to each resident.
For its first decade, Maitri offered a singular program of hospice care. In late 1997, Maitri relocated to its current state-licensed facility and expanded its program to include a broad range of skilled nursing care for people with severely disabling HIV.
The majority of the work that we do here is hospice care. We also provide transitional care for people who may have an acute period of their illness. So they need to come in for a short period of time to get stronger, learn how to take their medications, and hopefully in time move into a more independent living situation. And the last category are those people who are seriously debilitated by AIDS. They may be wheelchair bound or have dementia, but will really need constant care.
I was just amazed at how beautiful the place was. It's lovely here. It's just lovely.
We really strive to create a home-like environment. For many residents, it's the first real home they've had in years. When you walk through the doors, you can see that it's a physically beautiful place.
Too often, healthcare environments are very sterile and threatening places. We tried to create a healing environment with donated furnishings for all 15 resident rooms and the public spaces, which includes 2 living rooms and a dining room.
And the bees have a terrible, horrible buzz, but the bees and the breeze and the bats and the trees couldn't do what the jitterbug does, so be careful of that rascal. Keep away from the jitterbug. Now fly, the jitterbug. Wow, the it looks like I can't do anything anymore without going somewhere along. And I love this place. It's money well spent.
It is. We have about 75 volunteers that come in on a regular basis. Each volunteer commits to at least 4 hours a week.
My work here as a volunteer includes all kinds of things, like sitting with people, talking with residents,
Oh, I wash dishes, I help with bingo, we go off on trips, I drive, people places, bedside companionship.
And they have volunteers to take us to doctors or wherever we need to go.
Tuesday night bingo is a favorite, and that's where everybody can come out and win a few bucks. It's sort of a time out from everything and all the concentration and quietness of the room as everybody's looking for that last number to win the jackpot.
We also have volunteers who work in the kitchen who help prepare the meals that we're known for, meeting the individual needs of each resident.
We have to cook for the residents and the staff and family members who are here and volunteers.
And I must tell you, the food is great, and usually we have a good reputation of like fattening people back up and getting them stronger.
I also help in what they call spiritual support. Sometimes they want to talk about spirituality, talk about death, their hopes, their fears. And so I can sit there and speak with them, primarily listen and affirm the whole situation and passage that they're going through at the time. All faith traditions are honored and respected, or what tradition perhaps you have left and wish to have nothing to do with. That's fine.
Somebody asked me, how do I deal with it? I deal with it by, like, if one of my friends is dying, I would go into their room, hold their hand, I would sing to them and pray for them.
When one of the residents who I spent like every Saturday with, and I remember when he passed away, we had a memorial service for him, and it was just one of the most beautiful services I'd ever been to. We all sat around and people sang and people read poetry and shared stories about Carl. And it was almost like we had sort of brought him back to life. Like I felt like Carl was sitting in the room with us.
There was a kid named David, wonderful little guy, you know. I'd get him up in the morning, he used to like to sit on the front porch and watch watch people watch. And then after a while, him sitting out there, the people that lived in the neighborhood would start coming up and start talking to him, you know. And everything, he just made friends in the neighborhood with the animals and everything. People walking their dogs, they would come up, talk to him. And when he passed away, we just put his wheelchair out on the front porch, and people just came and just put flowers all over the wheelchair. It's incredible, you know. I mean, you know, as I think about it, still makes me tear up a little bit. Yeah, he was great.
Working in partnership with local home health care providers, Maitri provides its residents with comprehensive care and support in a home-like environment. We offer nursing and personal care as well as emotional, practical, and spiritual resources to meet the needs associated with HIV disease. Since 1987, Maitri has been home to over 450 men and women with AIDS.
I think it's definitely like opened my heart up. I think it's really helped me put everything into perspective. That like I realized, like having a bad hair day isn't a really big deal in the grand scheme of your life.
No one should have to be in pain, and no person should die alone. You know? I mean, it's not to be. You know, someone should be there. You know? And we make sure that someone is.
I think some of us would, probably be on the streets if places like Maitri wasn't here for us, or we'd be isolated in our homes like I was. I just think that it's, again, a Shangri-La in the AIDS treatment system.